Hello everyone and welcome back to Bayonetta 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Well, it happened again. We got blown off the bloody mountain, Marshmallow, or whatever his name was last time. Did us dirty, and now we gotta ascend once more. It is literally just the frozen world. It's Arendelle from KH3.
Basically, yes. And so, obviously, that side of things is one of the big frustrations that I have with the narrative of Bayonetta 2, because it is literally, we climb up, we get knocked down, we climb up, we get knocked down, we go a bit further down to do something that really should have been our focus from the beginning, then we climb back up and then we get back knocked down and then we zoom to the end, and it's just like, really? That's how you choose to do this? So that's frustrating. The other thing that's frustrating, and it's something that you don't necessarily notice until you look at the game in its whole scope, is that even after beating all of the bosses, Bayonetta still gets her ass handed to her in some form or another.
Yeah.
And obviously when you have the whole discussion about, is Bayonetta a feminist icon type thing, is she a strong, powerful female character, obviously that is a whole discussion in and of itself. But it's not one that is helped when you have, in the original game, Bayonetta beats those bosses and is an absolute badass afterwards.
Yeah.
She's never out of step. She is always in control of the situation. So even if she is more sexual in her approach, she is in control. Here, even if you beat the bosses, she still gets her ass handed to her, and you just start to go, oh, this feels a little bit uncomfortable. And it sort of takes away some of that power and control that Bayonetta as a character has. And I find that frustrating, because it means that sometimes chapters don't end on the high that you want them to. They sort of go and fizzle out because you've got your ass handed to you. And I don't think it's a satisfying way to go with a narrative. I get the principle that they had to amp up the seeming challenge of what Bayonetta's facing, but I don't know whether it works quite as well as it should have done.
This is the first part we're recording in this sesh, by the way, guys. Rishi came prepared for this one.
Yeah, it's more just I've had that sort of bubbling, and I was just waiting until there was a suitable moment, and obviously beating Vala is a prime example of that. But we get another demon. This is Insidious.
Very cool.
Yeah, he is pretty awesome.
But yeah, before we get to Loki, don't worry, we are paying attention to the finer points. I kind of agree, they set a precedent in the first game, and they only booked that precedent in the darkest hour, like the final boss and whatnot, when Sean had to come and rescue Bayonetta.
Yes.
And I don't mind, like, the strong female character, you know, having to overcome trials. I don't even mind them being borderline Mary Sue. But at some point, it's like, are you just doing this to pad out a story rather than, I don't want to say character assassination.
It's one of those things that just doesn't quite fit with who we have all come to know Bayonetta as. And it's a flaw. It doesn't really hugely diminish from the joy of playing Bayonetta 2, because at the end of the day, most people come to Bayonetta for the gameplay, not necessarily the story, although the story is part of the reason why I love it. It's just one of those little niggles that you just go, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that, but hey, this fight against Insidious is pretty fun, although the timings on his attacks can be a little bit finicky.
It's a manta ray, you don't know how those work. Even the demon ones are roughly cut from the same cloth, so...
Very much so.
So yeah, Loki, it seems the boy has been split in twain, with one side kind of amnesiac and good, and the other kind of like fully in control and pure evil, so to speak. And shout outs to, I think, Shadow Reaper, who mentioned that, I believe it was Vala, who basically dropped the name Lopter, or however you pronounce it, which is another name for Loki. So if you're piecing together the story, you can probably see where this is going.
Pretty much, and I mean, it's a cool little wrinkle.
Just punch an eye. Why not? I've played many a Zelda. I'm pretty familiar with this gameplay trope.
It's very true. I mean, at least for once, it's not on a pair of hands.
God, you're not wrong.
I mean, oh god, what game was it that I was playing the other day? Oh, it was Near Replicant, version 1.222, whatever. That had a massive face with two hands with an eye on it. And it was just like, yes, this is the quintessential video game boss fight.
I mean, it's just an easy design to make, and people love fighting it, so why not?
It's true. I mean, this isn't necessarily far off, because it's a giant face with two massive eyes either side of it. It's just that it's part of the body, so it's not quite as egregious.
Yeah.
Also, you're not fighting the two eyeballs at once, so...
Honestly, Bongo Bongo from Ocarina of Time wouldn't be out of place in a Bayonetta game.
No, he would not. Also, what the hell was that terrifying monstrosity called? Is it like the faceless demon, or...
What?
You know, the thing with the hand that comes out the ground and grabs you, and it's terrifying.
Oh, Dead Hand.
Dead Hand, that's the one. I don't know why I was thinking about face, but...
No, not me, I need that to see. It's okay, you got two of them for a reason.
Although, we'll probably try and get rid of the other one if we have a chance.
Yo, Loki coming in to do some sort of damage. Okay, he has hyper beam capabilities. Nice beam struggle!
Beam struggle! Not the coolest beam struggle that I have ever participated in. That may or may not be coming in the new year. But still, always do love a good beam struggle.
Thanks, I guess. At least you're pulling your weight.
Beat a boss, get inhaled by the boss.
That's fine. That's not really losing, per se.
Yeah, but it's still an example of Bayonetta wins. Things don't go the way Bayonetta planned them to. But that said, this is still quite a fun level, because we get to play inside Insidious.
Nice. Try saying that 3 times fast. Orbs? This ain't Devil May Cry.
Oh, it is, because since we are, you know, fighting inside a demon, and we're going to be fighting regular demons pretty much from this point forward, and then a mixture of the two. We get orbs from demons, we get halos from angels, because of course, it's the only way that makes sense.
Ah, very cool. You remember when, like, before Bayo 3 was shown for the first time at the Game Awards, there was a rumour about Bayonetta crossing over with Devil May Cry, and, like, you know, the red tape being slashed and whatnot made people think of that. And it doesn't help that whoever that is in the latest trailer kind of resembles, you know, Dante a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that's ever been an official rumour or whether that has just been a fan desire since the day go.
Yeah.
Because obviously Hideki Kamiya created the original Devil May Cry. And then when he created Bayonetta, it was sort of in response to where the genre had gone, and as part of the process for developing it, he played through Devil May Cry 4 quite a few times, I think, to see where everything had gotten to.
I can see
that. So
that.
the two series are very heavily intertwined, and they hit a very similar audience at the end of the day. It's just that Bayonetta's is probably, well, it definitely is campier, and Devil May Cry is a bit more rocky, but it works.
No, not another damn crow.
Yes, it's another damn crow, but thankfully this one is definitely easier to get because it's just up here, and it's not really got that far to run if you get your timings right.
Very cool. You know, another similar sort of thing, not super related, is how Professor Layton was kind of like meant to be Phoenix Wright, but actually competent.
Yes. So it's things like that where, like, as a fan, hell yeah, and to be honest, I think that Hideki Kamiya would love for there to be a crossover between Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, because then two of his babies coming together, and that's always a really awesome place to be.
Honestly, I think the casts of Devil May Cry and Bayo would get on pretty well. Like Luca and the mechanic chick in DMC5, who for some reason name escapes me right now.
Oh, God, completely forgotten as well over here. Like, great character. It's just that it's been a very long time since I played Devil May Cry 5. I don't remember half character names unless they're like the main character sometimes.
Oh, Nico, there we go.
Yes, I thought it was something like that, but I was just like, no, it can't be Nico, because Nico's a boy's name, but clearly it's a unisex name.
Why isn't it short for Nicole?
Probably yes. It is interesting because everybody absolutely loved Devil May Cry 5. And I mean, it is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed my time with it. But playing it, it was my first Devil May Cry game, it sort of made me go, yeah, no, I do just prefer the style of Bayonetta. It fits my gameplay loop a little bit more. Because even though Devil May Cry has sort of the same stylish action, it is a little bit more, it's a bit slower in general, and slightly less fluid than Bayonetta's approach, and also obviously doesn't have witch time as a primary thing.
I don't know if I'd call it less fluid, but it is more technical.
Yeah, there's just, it's difficult to describe exactly what the difference is, but whereas Bayonetta is very much like a dance, Devil May Cry is more of a kind of proper sword fight, I suppose.
A rock solo.
Yeah. It's one of the things I just really hope that Bayonetta 3 lands and is as good as I want it to be. Because obviously it would be really sad for it to come out and not meet the same level of acclaim as Devil May Cry 5 had.
Hideki Kami is sort of back in the driving seat, so...
I mean, not really, because so for, let me just have a look at what the statuses are for Bayonetta 3 in terms of who's directing and...
Well, he's executive director, isn't he?
He might be executive director.
I would expect you to know this sort of thing, though.
I mean, you would, considering I decided I was going to watch the trailer for it earlier today. But... basically, in Bayonetta 2 he was supervisor, and I think it's a slightly different director and team, but yeah, he is executive director.
There you go.
For this game, so yeah, so probably a little bit more involvement than he had last time round. But we shall see. In the meantime, we've got another fight against the Masked Lumen.
Fuck yeah, buddy. Again, it's just the Virgil. He shows up multiple times throughout the game. I didn't expect to talk about Devil May Cry this much in this particular session.
Neither did I, but these things just happen.
Step away, Umbra Witch.
And also, it makes sense because, you know, we're fighting demons and orbs, and there's just a lot of Devil May Cry referencing that happens during this. And this fight against the Masked Lumen is manic.
Yeah, I don't know where my cut-off point for Bayo 2 was, i.e. where I stopped playing, but I definitely remember fighting this dude. He can be pretty tricky. Make use of your abilities. I'm the best Let's Player. I tell you exactly how to play the game. By saying, play the game.
I mean, that's pretty much my answer to everything apart from the games that are just really mean.
The ones you can't be asked to do a second time, you mean?
Yeah. Or that are just really difficult, so just like, no, I'm just going to play on the slightly easier mode. Something that I'm sure we will be discussing when we get to Kenna.
Very good, very good. Yeah.
Which I have now finished, and quite enjoyed.
Good, yeah, I think it's a pretty good game. I would not call it stellar, but I would call it pretty good and well worth picking up.
Yeah, it's a nice, lovely experience. It just has a few rough edges, but we'll talk about that more later.
Look out for it in the new year, guys.
Yes. In the meantime, we are still, beating this guy's ass, and the innards of this Insidious are getting absolutely manic.
Oh, should have had that 50th chicken korma. It's coming back to haunt me.
I mean, this is very much like, what happens in Monstro, in Kingdom Hearts, and various things, of just causing a ruckus in his stomach to make him vomit us up.
God, I wish we fought this dude instead of fucking Parasite Cage.
Also, we've just proper summoned Hydra for the first time.
Very cool.
Like, we've seen bits of Hydra through our moves, but this is the first time we actually properly summon her, and as you can see, it's basically like a massive Medusa head beating up Sapientia.
So what's the Enochian call for this one, mate?
I should have been prepared.
God, Richie! I was prepared for once. I was here.
I was here. I didn't say that I was going to be completely on the ball. Right, so annoyingly, the immediate page of Hydra didn't have it, but this page will. So Hydra, Spinner of Destiny, the summon word is Canalu, which means blood.
Nice, well, fitting, because we're surfing on a river of blood here.
I can't remember whether we have used it or not, but there's a specific counter that you can actually do in this fight that is unique, where you effectively throw, I think, the Mass Lumen into Hydra.
Very cool.
Oh, there it is. I just missed doing it. I was very annoyed with myself, but because it's really cool to pull off, and would have been a perfect finale to the fight. But things don't always work out the way you want them to.
Okay, Rishi. Copity cope.
You do still get to do this, though, which is amazing.
Yeah, not a fan of missiles. Go away there. Lovely sound design here. Oh.
Oh, this masked lumen might be someone we know.
Hit it with the pot of green. Nobody knows what that does. Oh my god, he has an eye.
And it's a blue eye.
The right eye?
Yes. This man has the right eye. How very suspicious.
Not bad, not bad. A bit too much damage for my liking, Rich, and you could have had the information when I asked for it, but, things don't always work out the way you want them to.
I still got a platinum overall. It was just the gold at the start and the gold at the end that did me in.
The golden bookends. Wonderful. Alright guys, we'll see you next time for another part of Bayonetta 2, and who knows where we'll end up this time. Hopefully we'll go up. See you then.